Organizations building applications require models that can handle complex coding tasks, process extensive documents, and run extended agent workflows while maintaining strict data governance standards. You can now access Claude Opus 5 through two options on AWS. Through Amazon Bedrock, you get zero data retention enabled by default with regional data residency and integration with AWS managed features like guardrails and knowledge bases. The model navigates codebases and writes production-quality code while adapting its approach during execution. You can run agents for extended periods, including overnight, as they work around obstacles and recover from errors to complete objectives. Claude Platform on AWS provides direct access to Anthropic's native experience through the AWS console with unified billing and authentication, offering zero data retention on request. The model delivers enhanced reasoning for long documents and improved accuracy in complex analysis, particularly for document-intensive enterprise workloads. Setting up SMTP sending with Amazon SES Mail Manager previously required multiple manual steps to configure resources individually, creating friction for developers who need to send transactional emails, notifications, or password resets. The new guided setup addresses this by automating the entire configuration process. You can access the guided setup through the SES console, which automatically configures all necessary SMTP resources in just a few clicks. The setup provides you with a working SMTP endpoint and downloadable credentials that you can immediately integrate into any application or framework supporting SMTP. This eliminates manual configuration work and gives you a fast path to production-ready email sending. The feature is available in all AWS regions where SES operates. When you run Lambda functions on EC2 instances through Lambda managed instances, you need visibility into how capacity providers scale and manage those instances to diagnose provisioning failures and optimize performance. Lambda now automatically publishes logs for LMI capacity providers to CloudWatch logs, enabling you to monitor scaling and instance lifecycle operations. You can view structured JSON logs and CloudWatch logs that capture events like launches, terminations, and health checks. You can troubleshoot provisioning errors with log filtering to identify failed operations and resolve issues faster. You can configure logging via console, API, or IAC tools like CloudFormation and SAM. The logs are enabled by default for all capacity providers in AWS commercial regions where LMI is available, with standard CloudWatch logs charges applying. Model providers and AI researchers building agents that operate on AWS infrastructure lack an objective, reproducible way to measure performance and diagnose failures. AWS-bench addresses this by providing an open-source benchmark that measures how accurately and efficiently AI agents complete real-world AWS tasks. You can measure AI agent performance on AWS tasks using a public suite of test cases derived from real AWS usage patterns, including investigation, troubleshooting, and infrastructure creation. You can test against real-world usage scenarios where each test case pairs a natural language query with a defined cloud resource state. You can score agents with ground truth answers on a consistent, verifiable basis to improve foundation model performance and track progress. You can use the CLI to instantiate testing environments, execute and score evaluation runs, and reset resource state. The benchmark is available now on GitHub. When you run streaming data workloads, capacity management becomes challenging when traffic patterns fluctuate. While Kinesis Data Streams on-demand mode automatically scales up ingest capacity during traffic spikes, you previously could not scale down when demand decreased, resulting in paying for unused capacity. You can now scale down ingest capacity by setting a lower warm throughput value on your on-demand stream with On-Demand Advantage mode. The stream adjusts to either your requested capacity or the peak usage from the last hour, whichever is higher, ensuring you maintain sufficient capacity for current traffic. This allows you to release excess capacity you no longer need, optimizing both performance and cost efficiency. The feature is available at no additional cost in all AWS regions where Kinesis Data Streams On-Demand Advantage is supported. Previously, you had to create self-managed licenses and associate AMIs through AWS License Manager before creating host resource groups for EC2 Dedicated Hosts. This added complexity for customers who needed dedicated hosts for hardware-level isolation rather than license management, particularly EC2 Mac instance users. You can now create host resource groups without this licensing step by unchecking the AMI restriction option in the EC2 console or setting the instance launch option parameter via CLI. If you have bio workloads, you can still create HRGs with SMLs to restrict instances to associated AMIs and track license consumption. This feature is available in all AWS regions that support host resource groups.